Thumbs up, I'm sure meeting's ready. Okay.
Everybody's ready.
Yep.
We're on.
All right, I'd like to go ahead and open up the Tuesday, February 16, 2021 Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting at this time. Once again, anybody who'd like to participate, either call in by number 312-626-6799, meeting ID 956-274-8536. That meeting ID will also work for your Zoom. With that, we'll go ahead and open up the consent agenda. And then there'll be 2 items removed from the consent agenda. Give me one moment. Sorry. Tonight, we're going to remove the general plumber bid and the general electrician bid because they are not the lowest bid. We're going to have the department head explain to the public why they're the best bid, though. So we're going to pull those 2 items and discuss it later on in the agenda. With that, go ahead, Cody. Yes.
So for the consent agenda items, we have the regular and executive session minutes from February 2nd, 2021, and the portable toilet bid awarded to Opal and Sewer Service, the low bid.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Could you get Melody for second?
Alderman Miller,
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Miller. Roll call vote.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be hearing from the public. Randy or Melody, do we have anything?
I don't have anything.
I have no one on Zoom.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Next will be Board of Alderman comments.
Kudos to the street crews once again. Those guys, I swear, they do an amazing job for what they're having to deal with. So I'm so appreciative that they keep Warrior Avenue and Bush Drive cleaned off. And I'm sure that the rest of the people appreciate what they're doing. And Brandy, are we not putting out trash tomorrow? I haven't heard anything yet.
No, actually, I was going to mention that right now we are on Saturday to put trash out.
Saturday. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's been delayed for 2 days.
I asked about that. Okay, great. Great. Saturday.
The
But
delay
sa-
for that many days.
Yeah, like 2 days right now.
Serious?
Wow.
Yep.
Duly noted.
Okay. All right.
I just want to say thanks to the Public Works Department. I heard there was a water problem today.
I don't know. Where was it, Jack?
Or somebody was out of power or something today. I thought I'd seen something on the city site.
It was
Oh.
a water main break.
Okay, there we go.
Oh,
So those
geez.
guys for having to be out there in the cold working. So
Oh my God. Hadn't heard about that. Those poor guys.
right, and everyone who had to be out. So sorry
Absolutely.
to hear that.
Keep enduring. They do a great job. They really do.
They do.
Anybody else?
Nope.
I'm glad to see 2 of our aldermen back. Thank you for being here for those 2. Prayers were to you guys all at all times. I'm glad to see you guys are on the mend. And once again, yes, I think for what we had in a short amount of time, it wasn't just our city crew, but I mean, MoDOT did a good job trying to keep up and doing everything they possibly could for keeping roadways open. Thanks to emergency services, I saw the ambulance running, and I'm sure they were under pressure, but all of them managed to drive safely and keep track. I didn't hear of anybody going off in the ditch or anything happening. So I just appreciate that everybody's using common sense during this time. It appeared to be. I took a trip into St. Charles to drop some stuff off to my father-in-law, and there were cars all over the side of the road out there where we didn't have so many out here. So I'm glad maybe some people used common sense and slowed down or just kept off the roads.
That's a key example, Mayor, of having a good working relationship with your department heads.
Yes.
They
Agreed.
want to do a good job and they know we expect it, and it's a mutual agreement, I think.
I'd agree. Any other comments?
Nope.
Let's move on to the reimbursement for storefront activation grant for WDA. Is that off there?
That has been removed.
Sorry.
Terry.
Move on to hearing from our city administrator, Terry Thorne.
Okay, so the only thing I have for you this evening is just the list of major accomplishments for 2020. I'll highlight some of those for the public's purposes. We completed the acquisition of the easements for the North Highway 47 sidewalk project without the use of any condemnation. This was a major feat considering there were more than 30 different parcels that were involved. So kudos to Brandy and all of those, Guy and his crew and engineers who all worked on this to get that accomplished, allowing this project to stay on the time frame. We maintained successful operations during the COVID and still ensuring the safety of staff and without operations ever suffering during this pandemic period. The police department completed all of the process for their CALIA accreditation to have their mock and web-based assessments, which are occurring in the very near future. That will result in their formal approval in 2021 of their CALIA accreditation. So that is a massive, massive project that Larry and his staff have accomplished, and major, major kudos to them for finally being toward the end of the process and obtaining that for our department. Fully resolved the encroachment issue with the water tower and the Agape structure. That is all completely taken care of, and that issue is fully resolved. We established the parking lane designations to resolve the inability for emergency vehicles to pass on subdivision streets. That will be ongoing as existing streets are dealt with by the Public Works Department in those areas where it's necessary to further eliminate that in other areas. Partnered with the Warrenton Downtown Association to produce a concept plan, which the board will be reviewing at your planning meeting that's coming up in the near future. And then WDA intends to roll that out to the public after that. Completed the enclosure and remodel of the annex building to create the larger chambers and courtroom. Amazing what that undertaking accomplished and the difference in what that structure looks like now and how much more usable space that it currently is. Installed a new well, number 9, at the Warrior Booster Station, and have improving the water service to that southeast quadrant of the city. And then 23 new businesses opened in 2020, and that provided 127 new jobs in our city. So even in the midst of pandemic for the biggest part of the year, we still saw some positives that were happening out there with new businesses, in addition to all those 97 single family residential permits that were issued. So things are still moving forward. All in all, a good year, regardless of COVID or not. And that's all I really have for you this evening.
I'd agree that those are some pretty good accomplishments.
because we got good people. Department heads, management, mayor.
I agree. Any other comments on the accomplishments?
No.
Any operational updates, Terry?
Nope, nothing for you other than we do have the 5:30 Zoom meeting with Truesdale tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Terry. Next,
You're
we'll hear from Director of Operations, Randy Walters.
Good evening. Tonight, the first thing that I have for you is our annual administration report. And you can see on there, we had, even during the whole COVID thing this whole last year, we had 62 meetings. And we also were still, even though we weren't able to meet in person, all of our departments were still able to do a lot of their safety talks, which is a huge focus every year. And they conducted 214 of those, and we only had 2 accidents all year, which is great.
Randy, were any of those lost times?
Those were not.
Good.
Yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yes. Very good.
Excellent. Any other questions?
Randy, who maintains the OSHA log for us?
We're not liable to have OSHA. So that's not something that we're required to do as a municipality. However, we keep track of all accidents.
Okay.
And that's done by resources.
Okay. I'm used to an OSHA environment, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people are.
Okay.
The next thing that I have for you tonight is the festivals within the Main Street overlay districts. So as you all are aware, we continue to evaluate the way that we do things, procedural. And when the last time that we went through this process, and of course, this is only festivals that are in that Main Street overlay district. The last time that we went through this process, we realized there were a couple changes that we needed to make as far as timing. Nothing is changing as far as the application process. They still will turn it in 120 days ahead of the event. However, one of the things that we had in there was that the Board of Aldermen would approve that within 30 days of receipt of that application. We have now changed that to be 30 days prior to the event date of the application. So that gives us a little more time as far as city staff to review that process. We also are changing that we need to receive feedback. So one of the things is all the events go to WDA for their recommendations. And we were asking them to also give that back to us within 30 days. So now we have changed that so that they are getting 30 days from the time they receive it from city staff. And they have to get it back to us with their recommendations. Also, one of the things that we received with the last time we did this was we received some feedback that WDA had the ability to approve their own events. So that was another thing that we added to this to change, is that if it's a WDA event, sponsored event, they will not be approving or denying that event. It will just skip their process and it will be city staff and then directly to the Board of Aldermen. So those are just a couple things that we needed to change on that in the code. We also, I believe that because this is just such a new policy and a new piece that we're using right now, we've only really had one event since we created this. So I believe that once we get through this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have some festivals this year. And once we get through that, we may have to reevaluate it and go back and make any changes if we need to. Because like I said, we've only used it one time. So just so that the way you guys are aware, there is a bill later on the agenda for approval for these changes.
So to clarify, the WDA does not approve events or deny events. The WDA makes the recommendations.
Correct.
The board,
They'll
it's
make
the
a
board of all, yeah, it's the board of aldermen that approve or deny it. I just want to make,
Absolutely.
because that was
Yes.
a point of contention. I just want to make sure the public understands that they are used as a recommending body similar to what the park board would be or anybody else who's making recommendations to the board.
Correct. Yes.
Any other questions or comments? There again, that will be as a bill on the agenda later. Anything else, Brady?
The only thing I have is what I had said earlier. Trash currently is being picked up on Saturday because they are 2 days behind right now. And that's all I have.
Is that for certain areas or all the city?
Everywhere. All of their offices were closed completely on Monday, and then today, I'm sorry, they were also, I think their offices were open, but they weren't able to run all the routes.
Good enough. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are we going to include it on the website just so people can
Yes.
check? Thank you.
Yes, it should already be out there.
Excellent. Next, we'll hear from Aquatics Director Lisa Kramer.
Good evening. You should have in front of you the annual aquatic report. Does anybody have any questions about that?
No, but you're doing a great job for what you have to work with, girl.
Thank you.
I feel so bad for you. You're working so hard and this COVID thing is just ruining your enthusiasm. So,
We still have the enthusiasm. We got to get rid of the snow and
yeah,
back open.
well, hang in there. Better days are ahead, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Any questions for Lisa?
No.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Keep the enthusiasm. Next, we'll hear from Maintenance and Grounds Director Brad Boozy Cruz.
Good evening, Board and Mayor. You have my yearly report with you.
Any questions for Brad?
Nope.
No.
Next, we'll have the general plumber bid. The difference in this is the percentage on the specialty order items is Hageman was 15%, Michelson was 20%, but the hourly rate was 101 and Michelson was 85.
Any questions on that? And your what is your recommendation?
Recommending to go with Michelson Plumbing,
Okay. The best bid.
best bid.
Excellent. Is there any questions on that?
Nope.
No.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the general plumber bid with Michelson Plumbing, the best bid.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Melody, who'd you get?
Alderman Miller first and
Okay.
Alderman Dyer second.
Would you be
I'll
okay with the
second.
second? Excellent. Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
You're muted.
Where'd you go, Jack?
There we go. Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next, we'll have the general electrician bid. Recommending we go with Roger Owenby, sales and service. His markup was 15% compared to 10 on the other two, and that is on just special order items. And then Roger's hourly rate is cheaper than them.
Were there any questions on that as well?
No,
I'll entertain a motion for the general repair electrician awarded to Roger Allenby Sales and Services, the best bid.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Can I ask a question real quick, Mayor?
Sure.
I assume on item 7 where some of the other people have other uses in here, like a bucket truck and that type of stuff. If we're in a situation where a bucket truck is needed, we'd use our own equipment. Is that not true?
Yes, yes, that's how we do it. If Roger comes out and needs one, that saves us the cost of having to do that.
And I think it's a simple question on the one we previously approved, where one of the bidders had a bunch of other charges down, whereas the company we selected didn't. But running cameras through sewer lines is equipment we have, so we don't need to bid that out. It's the same
Correct.
situation.
Correct. And the other ones, well, yeah, that's just how we do it. We just use whatever equipment we have, we use it.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
yes,
Alderman Ock,
Yes,
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Anything else, Brad?
That's all I have.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Building Commissioner Mike Cross.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my annual report in front of you.
Are there any questions for Mike on his annual report?
no,
All right.
I assume, Mike, that next year we're gonna have 103 houses to make up for the 3 you were short this year. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair, sir. And I'll sure shoot for that goal.
All right.
Mike, that's pretty easy for you.
I hope as long as lumber prices start coming down.
I'm telling you, amen to that. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome, sir.
Next, we'll hear from Chief of Police Larry Eller.
Good evening. First item I have for you is my annual report.
Any questions on the annual report for him?
everything's down.
Like that.
I know, it's good news. Everything, calls, reports, arrest. That's a good sign. That's what we want to see. We're still looking for an officer or two though, right?
Usually we are. Yeah, and a code enforcement officer.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
this guy named Tim decided to transfer some.
I know.
Yeah.
He walked on code enforcement. I don't understand that. How are you, Tim?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good, good.
He gets to enjoy being a normal person again, so it's all
I
right.
know, working normal hours. Oh my gosh, it's
Not as
wonderful.
much stress. It's awesome.
Yes.
It is nice.
Hey, good deal.
Mm.
So when are you going to start some classes for us? Something lined up yet?
As soon as the school lets me know, hopefully here
Right.
soon.
Good. That's great. I'm happy for you.
Any more questions about the annual report for the chief?
Nope.
Go ahead, chief. Next item.
And next item is providing public notice that on March 1st, coming up between the hours of 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., the public or city employees, police officers are all welcome to call in and speak with the assessors who are doing our on-site assessment, an unrecorded line to leave their comments on relevant to our ability to maintain compliance with CALIA or any other concerns that they might have. There's also a Zoom link on that public notice there, if you can pull that up. Anyone who wants to call in will have 5 minutes to speak with Mr. Philip Patrone from the Miami Beach, Florida Police Department, and Major Mark Hallam of Fort Smith, Arkansas Police Department.
And where's this info for us to call in, Larry? Where?
It should be up on your screen, and it's going to be posted in our lobby, and I believe it's going to be up on our Facebook and on the website.
Oh, okay. And it's from 2 to 4 p.m.
Yes, ma'am, on March 1st.
Okay, good, good. I will call in.
And that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you. Any comments on that or questions on that?
No.
All right, thank you, Chief. Next, we're from Public Works Director Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my annual Public Works report. Any questions on that?
Woo-hoo, Guy Gevers, you guys are doing a great job out there.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
Oh my gosh, your crew is amazing.
Yeah. They did a good job. They always do.
We appreciate that, trust me. Anytime I can get out of my driveway, I'm doing good.
Any other questions for Guy?
Nope.
All right, thank you, Guy.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bills to ordinance. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 13-21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Delloy, seconded by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance amending section 500.080 subsection D of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri regarding public festivals within the Main Street overlay district.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 13-21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Crump. I believe, is that who you had, Melody?
I think so.
Okay.
An ordinance amending section 500.080 subsection D of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri regarding public festivals within the Main Street overlay district.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I will entertain a motion to adjourn from the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Crump. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned.